Welcome, future construction masters. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting topics in construction management. And yes, I said exciting. We're talking about construction payment methods and risk allocation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Payment methods? That sounds about as thrilling as watching concrete dry. But stick with me here, because understanding how money flows, or doesn't flow, through a construction project is the difference between being a construction genius and being the person who explains to the client why their $5 million project now costs $8 million. This is your strategic guide to contract pricing, financial flow, and project success. Think of it as the GPS for your construction budget, except this GPS actually tells you where all the money went. Let's get started. All right, let's talk about the price-risk equation. This is where the rubber meets the road, or where the concrete meets the foundation, if we're being thematic. You've got four main players in the construction contract world, and they're like the four food groups, except instead of keeping you healthy, they keep your project from going bankrupt. First up, lump sum. Picture this. You walk into a restaurant, and the price for the meal is fixed. Doesn't matter if the chef burns the first attempt, doesn't matter if ingredients cost more. You're paying one price. That's lump sum. Fixed price, high contractor risk. The contractor eats the overruns. You get price security. It's best for design, bid, build projects where you have complete drawings. Think of it as the what you see is what you get deal. Next, GMP, Guaranteed Maximum Price. This is like having a spending cap on your credit card. But if you spend less, you actually get to share the savings. It's the friendly cousin of lump sum. You're protected from runaway costs, and the contractor is protected from total loss. Win-win. But here's the catch. You need open book accounting, which means the contractor shows you every receipt. Best for construction manager at risk situations. Third, cost plus. This is like hiring a contractor and saying, just buy whatever you need, keep the receipts, and I'll pay you back, plus a little extra for your trouble. Time and materials, high owner risk. You're basically giving the contractor a blank check. Well, not literally, but you're paying actual costs plus a fee. Best for emergencies, undefined scope, or fast-track projects where you needed it done yesterday. Finally, unit price. This one's perfect for when you're not sure exactly how much you need, but you know what you need. It's paid per measure, per cubic yard, per square foot, per mile of road. Best for roads, highways, and civil work. Fair for variable work, but you won't know the final cost until everything's measured. It's like paying per scoop at an ice cream shop. You know the price per scoop, but not your total bill until you're done. Each one balances cost certainty against scope flexibility. It's the eternal dance of construction. Now let's get into the psychology of risk allocation. This slide is basically the who takes the hit when things go wrong spectrum. On the far left, we have high owner risk. That's cost plus territory. The owner is basically saying, I trust you completely, contractor. Here's my wallet. In the middle, we have the balanced approaches, CM agency and CM at risk IPD. These are like Switzerland, neutral, balanced. Everybody shares a little bit of the pain and the gain. On the far right, high contractor risk. That's lump sum, design build, and P3, public-private partnership. The contractor is saying, "I'll take the risk. I'm confident I can build this for the price I quoted," which is either very brave or very foolish, depending on how well they estimated. Here's the key insight you need to tattoo on your brain. Risk carries a price premium. Think about it like insurance. If you ask the contractor to take on all the risk, they're going to charge you more to cover that risk. It's like asking someone to bet their entire year's salary on completing your project on time and on budget. They're going to want a safety cushion, and that cushion is baked into their bid. Transferring all risk to the contractor increases the bid cost. So sometimes it's actually smarter to share the risk and share the savings. Revolutionary concept, right? Let's visualize this price-risk equation with our handy-dandy scale here. On one side, you've got cost certainty, high contractor risk, lump sum. The contractor carries the burden, you get predictability. On the other side, you've got scope flexibility, high owner risk, cost plus. You can change your mind as much as you want, but you're paying for every change, every delay, every decision. In the middle, GMP, the sweet spot for many projects. The trade-off: cost certainty versus scope flexibility. You can't have both. It's like trying to have your cake and eat it too, except the cake is made of concrete and costs $10,000. The impact: cash flow. When does money move? Risk allocation. Who takes the hit? Stakeholder relationships. Are we partners or adversaries? The key insight: the right payment approach fosters collaborative relationships and supports financial stability. Choose wisely, because your payment method sets the tone for the entire project. Pick the wrong one, and you'll be having fun conversations about change orders for the next 2 years. Welcome to Lump Sum, the set it and forget it of construction contracts. Definition: the contractor agrees to a fixed total price, regardless of actual costs. You could read that contract ticket here: $8,500,000. Done. Finished. That's what you're paying. Notice that actual cost is marked. The contractor could spend $7 million or $10 million to complete the work. Doesn't matter to you. You're paying $8.5 million. Risk profile: high contractor risk, low owner risk. The contractor eats overruns. You, the owner, get price security. Sleep easy. Well, easier. Best for well-defined scopes. Design, bid, build projects. Complete drawings, and I mean complete. If your drawings are 60% done and you go lump sum, you're setting yourself up for a change order nightmare. Pros, cons. You get certainty, but you're going to pay for it. The contractor builds in a contingency because they're taking the risk. Higher bid pricing is the trade-off for your peace of mind. Lump sum is like buying a fixed-price airline ticket. Sure, it costs more than a budget airline, but at least you know you won't get nickeled and dimed for your carry-on bag, your seat selection, and the privilege of breathing oxygen. Now let's talk about GMP, the let's be friends and share approach to construction contracts. Look at this beautiful jar diagram. You've got a GMP cap of $25 million. Below that, you've got your actual project cost, $23 million in this example. What happens to that $2 million difference? You share it. In this case, the owner gets 60%, $1.2 million back. Ka-ching! And the contractor gets 40%, $0.8 million as a bonus for being efficient. Definition: actual costs are reimbursed up to a cap. Savings shared. Risk profile: shared risk. The owner is protected from runaway costs, the contractor is protected from total loss, and both are incentivized to save money. It's beautiful. It's collaborative. It's actually pretty smart. Best for: construction manager at risk, CM at risk. Progressive design build key requirement: open book accounting. The contractor has to show you the receipts, every single one. You want transparency? You got it. You'll know exactly where every dollar goes. GMP is like splitting a restaurant bill with a friend who actually keeps track of who ordered what. Fair, transparent, and nobody feels cheated. Time to talk about unit price, the pay-as-you-go model of construction. Check out this excavation example. You've got item, excavation. Rate, $35 per cubic yard. Quantity, 20,000 cubic yards. Total, $700,000. Simple math, right? But here's the thing. Until you actually dig, you don't know if it's going to be 20,000 cubic yards or 25,000 cubic yards. Surprise! Underground conditions are unpredictable. Definition: paid based on measured quantities, not total project cost. Risk profile: split risk. The owner takes quantity risk, how much do we actually need, and the contractor takes rate risk. Can I do this for $35 per cubic yard? Best for: horizontal construction, highways, pipelines, earthwork. Basically, any project where Mother Nature might have buried some surprises. Insight: it's fair for variable work, but the final cost is unknown until measurement. Think of it like paying for gas. You know the price per gallon, but you don't know your total bill until your tank is full. Unit price is perfect when you're not sure how much tank you've got. Buckle up, because we're entering cost-plus territory, where the owner takes on maximum financial exposure. Look at all these receipts and timesheets. This is what open book accounting looks like when the contractor is getting paid for actual costs. Labor, $1 million. Materials, $700,000. Fee, 10%, $170,000. Total build, $1,870,000. Notice that big red audited and approved stamp? That's because you, the owner, have the right to audit everything. You better be checking those receipts. Definition: owner pays actual costs plus a fee. No ceiling, no cap, just costs. Risk profile: high owner risk. Maximum financial exposure. You're basically handing over your credit card and hoping for the best. Best for emergencies. The building is on fire. Fix it now. Undefined scope. We need something, but we're not sure what yet. Fast track projects. Start yesterday. Figure out details later. Requirement: meticulous record-keeping and audit rights. You need a paper trail for every single dollar. Cost plus is like telling a contractor, fix my house, keep the receipts, and I'll pay you back. It requires trust, transparency, and a really good accountant. Now we're getting fancy. Let's talk about the new kids on the block. Collaborative and hybrid models. First, Target cost, pain, gain. This one's clever. You set a target cost, and if the project comes in under budget, you share the savings. If it goes over, you share the overrun. It's like a construction buddy system. Cost target, share overrun. Ouch, but at least we're in this together. This incentivizes the team. Everyone wins when efficiency happens. It's best for projects where you want alignment, not finger-pointing. Second, Integrated Project Delivery, IPD. Picture this: owner, designer, and builder, all holding hands around a campfire, singing Kumbaya. That's IPD. It's a multi-party agreement with a shared contingency pool and waiver of claims. Translation: we're all in this together, and we've agreed not to sue each other. Revolutionary. Best for complex mega-projects where collaboration is critical. Third, Progressive Design Build. This is the two-phase approach. Phase 1. Design, cost plus. Figure out what we're building. Phase 2. Construction, GMP, lump sum. Build it efficiently. You start flexible during design, then lock in once scope is defined. Smart. These models represent the evolution of construction contracting from adversarial to collaborative, from cover your butt to let's actually work together. Let's follow the money. Because money doesn't just magically appear on a construction site. There's a whole process. Step 1. Schedule of Values, SOV. This is your project budget broken down by line item. Foundation, $500,000. Framing, $300,000. MEP, $400,000. Finishes, $200,000. Each item has a scheduled value and a percentage complete tracker. This is your roadmap. Step 2. Work performed. Boots on the ground. Workers actually do the work. Let's say we're 50% complete on the project, shown here. Step 3. Application for payment. The contractor submits a formal application showing what work was completed, what value that represents, what they're owed. In this example, they're requesting $700,900 for cumulative progress minus $70,900 in retainage. We'll get to that. So the current payment due is $70,900. Step 4. Funding. Money finally flows to the contractor. Ka-ching! At the bottom, we see an important note about milestone payments, an alternative to percentage complete. Instead of paying based on progress, you pay when gates are reached. Structure topped out? Here's your money. This is the heartbeat of construction cash flow. Mess this up, and your project flatlines. Let's talk about protection. Financial protection, that is. Retainage, the holdback. Look at this pie chart. That little 10% slice? That's retainage, money held until completion. Purpose, security for the owner to ensure completion and fix defects. Think of it as an insurance policy. The contractor doesn't get that final 10% until they finish everything and fix any problems. It's motivation in monetary form. Bonds and liens. On the right side, we have two heavy hitters. Payment bonds, required by the Miller Act for public jobs. Federal projects over $100,000 must have payment bonds to guarantee subcontractors and suppliers get paid. Why? Because you can't put a lien on a public building. Public land can't be liened.
So bonds protect government projects, and liens secure private property payments. Mechanics liens. The contractor's right to claim against property title if unpaid.
Here's the deal. If a contractor or supplier doesn't get paid on a private project, they can file a lien against the property. This is serious. It clouds the title and can prevent sale or refinancing until the debt is settled. Retainage and bonds are your safety nets. Don't skip them. Ever. All right, this slide is a masterpiece of visual storytelling. So let's break it down. Bonds for public projects. See that beautiful bridge with the American flag? That's public infrastructure, baby. And public land can't be liened, so bonds protect government projects. The Miller Act requirement. Federal projects over $100,000 must have payment bonds to guarantee subcontractors and suppliers get paid. Claim against the surety. If unpaid, workers make a claim against a bond company rather than the government or contractor. Public property protection. Bonds replace lien rights on public jobs because you cannot place a lien on public land. The government said, "Nice try, but this bridge belongs to the people." Liens for private projects. Over here, we've got private properties, homes, offices, that cute little house with the sold sign. Mechanics liens. A legal claim placed against a private property's title when a contractor or supplier is unpaid. Financial leverage. A lien prevents the owner from easily selling or refinancing the property until the debt is settled. It's basically a legal headlock. Broad eligibility. Typically available to contractors, subcontractors, material suppliers, and equipment rental companies. Basically, if you contributed to building that house, you can lien it. Quick reference comparison. Bottom table. Project type. Bonds equals public, bridges, schools, etc. Liens equals private, offices, homes, etc. Claim target. Bonds equals surety company. Liens equals property title. Legal basis. Bonds equals federal/state law. Liens equals state lien statutes. The middle shows construction in action, because all of this legal stuff only matters when someone doesn't get paid. Bottom line, bonds and liens exist to make sure the little guy gets paid. Don't be the owner who forces suppliers to file liens. Just pay people. Let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, change orders. Just kidding. Nobody likes change orders, but they're inevitable. So let's manage them properly. Change order workflow. Step 1. Document. Define scope and cost impact. Write it down. Take pictures. Send emails. Do not proceed on a handshake agreement, no matter how nice the owner seems. Step 2. Approve. Written approval before work starts. Not during, not after. Before. Notice the big red "Approved" stamp? That's what you need. If you start work without approval, congratulations, you're working for free. Step 3. Execute. Perform the work. Now you're covered. Step 4. Update. Adjust contract value. The contract is now worth more, or less, but usually more. Risk. Unauthorized changes equals non-payment. See that big orange warning box? That's your cautionary tale. If you do work without authorization, good luck getting paid. Documentation is the only defense. Incentive-disincentive clauses, right side. Some contracts include bonuses for early finish, ka-ching, or penalties for delays. Ouch. Finish early? Bonus. Time is money. Finish late? Penalty. Also, time is money. Change orders are friction. They slow things down, cost money, and create conflict. But with proper documentation, approval, and execution, you can manage that friction and avoid legal disasters. Remember, if it's not in writing, it didn't happen. Time to put on your legal hats, folks, because we're diving into the legal and regulatory landscape. Prompt payment statutes, left column. State laws requiring payment within 7 to 30 days to prevent cash flow abuse. Because contractors need to eat too, and they can't wait 90 days for payment. These laws also include mandatory interest on late payments. Pay late? You're paying extra. It's like a credit card for construction. Retainage regulations, middle column. Caps on how much can be held. For example, 5% or 10% max. Some states say, you can't hold more than 10% hostage. And here's a fun fact. 49 states regulate public retainage. 49. That means almost everyone agrees retainage needs limits. Lien rights, right column. Statutory right for unpaid contractors to encumber property. This is serious business. There are specific deadlines for filing notices. Miss the deadline? You lose your lien rights, so don't miss the deadline. These regulations exist to balance power. Without them, contractors would be at the mercy of owners who could just not pay. And that's not a functional business model. Know your state laws. Seriously. They vary widely, and ignorance is not a defense. Welcome to the 21st century, where we finally stop doing construction accounting on paper napkins. The problem. Look at the left side. The old way. Piles of invoices, a calculator, and a big red delayed stamp. 82% of contractors face delays more than 30 days. That's not a typo. 82%. Most contractors are waiting over a month to get paid. That's insane. Transformation. The big orange arrow. We're moving from chaos to clarity, from manual to automated, from delayed to instant. The new way, right side. Welcome to Procore, or similar construction management software. Look at that beautiful dashboard. Invoice approved. ACH transfer initiated. Everything's automated, tracked, and transparent. New technologies. Automated invoicing from SOV. The schedule of values automatically generates invoices. No more manual entry. Digital lien waivers. Sign electronically. Track automatically. No more chasing paper. Real-time ERP integration. Your accounting software talks to your project management software. They're best friends now. The future is digital. The future is automated. The future is getting paid in less than 30 days. If you're still using paper invoices and manual processes, you're living in the construction Stone Age. Upgrade. All right, decision time. Let's walk through the logic tree for selecting your payment method. Start. Is scope well defined? Yes. Move to critical cost certainty? No. Move to early start required? If yes to critical cost certainty, yes. Lump sum, lock it in. No. Unit price, flexible quantities. If no to well-defined scope, early start required? Yes, cost plus, start now, figure it out later. No, GMP or target cost. Convert to GMP once you know what you're building.
Special cases, right side. Complex shared risk, IPD, integrated project delivery. Repetitive work, IDIQ, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity. This is your decision flowchart. Follow it, and you'll pick the right contract type 90% of the time. The key is honesty about your project. Do you really know what you're building? Do you really need cost certainty? Can you really wait for design to finish before starting construction? Answer those questions honestly, and the flowchart does the rest. Let's talk about IDIQ, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity. The secret weapon for repetitive work. Phase 1. Establishing the master contract. You create a master agreement that establishes multi-year duration, maximum contract value, pre-negotiated unit pricing. Think of it like a retainer. You're saying, I don't know exactly what I'll need, but I know I'll need your services, so let's agree on pricing now. Undefined scope and quantity. Ideal when the exact work quantity is unknown at the time of the award. Perfect for maintenance, repairs, on-call services. Phase 2. Executing via task orders. Once the master contract is in place, the owner issues specific work orders under the existing master contract without rebidding. Issuing task orders. Work Order 1. Fix guardrails. Work Order 2. Patch pavement. Work Order 3. Emergency response, on-call, and emergency services. Used for repetitive needs like guardrail repairs, pavement patching, or emergency storm response. Maximum operational flexibility. Allows owners to react quickly to maintenance needs over a 3 to 5 year period. IDIQ is brilliant for government agencies, facility managers, and anyone who needs ongoing services without the headache of rebidding every single job. It's the Costco membership of construction contracts. Pay once, use multiple times. Here's your cheat sheet. The selection matrix for matching payment methods to project characteristics. Let's walk through some scenarios. Scenario 1. You're building a standard office building. Plans are 100% complete. Lump sum. Scenario 2. The owner needs to break ground ASAP, but design is only 30% done. Cost plus, then potentially convert to GMP once scope is defined. Scenario 3. You need a cost cap to secure financing, but scope might evolve. GMP. Scenario 4. You're building a highway and don't know exactly how much earthwork you'll need. Unit price. Scenario 5. You want owner and contractor to share both risk and reward. Target cost. Scenario 6. A pipe burst and you need it fixed now. Time and materials. Scenario 7. You're building a billion-dollar airport terminal and need everyone aligned. IPD. Print this slide, laminate it, put it on your wall. This is your payment method decision matrix, and it will save you countless headaches. Let's wrap this up with the big picture. Selecting for success. Imagine a Greek temple, the foundation of profitability. And what holds up that roof? 3 mighty pillars. Pillar 1. Risk allocation. Assign risk to the party best able to control it.
Don't make the contractor responsible for things they can't control, like whether the owner gets financing. Don't make the owner responsible for things they can't manage, like whether the contractor can hire skilled labor. Match risk to capability. Pillar 2. Contract structure. Clear scope definition determines the pricing model. If you don't know what you're building, you can't use lump sum. If you do know what you're building, why would you use cost plus and expose yourself to unlimited risk? Clarity equals smart contracting. Pillar 3. Technology. Digital tools to accelerate cash flow. Automated invoicing, digital lien waivers, real-time dashboards. Use them. The faster money moves, the healthier your project. The foundation. Profitability. Everything rests on this. If the project isn't profitable, it doesn't matter how well you allocated risk or how fancy your technology is. Final wisdom. No one size fits all. The right contract prevents disputes and ensures project viability. Choose wisely. Document everything. Pay people on time. And may all your projects come in under budget and ahead of schedule. Thanks for joining this deep dive into construction payment methods. Now go forth and build great things profitably.